Let's go. Got the peach mango. Pretty excited because it is Chest and Tries, the absolute greatest day at the gym every time. I changed it up this morning. I've been struggling with my reading. I've been reading every day. I just haven't got to my time goal. I've been falling short. Sometimes not by a lot, but not enough to get my check box. So I changed it up this morning. Woke up and did the V50 book and did my reading right after. Usually it's the gym right out the gate. And you know my philosophy on whatever's important, get it done first, because otherwise you'll find your excuses. So I decided to change it up and do my reading before I went to the gym. And I'm very, very pleased because it's been a struggle. So whatever you want to get done, prioritize, make it the first thing you get done. I'm reading the book, The Speed of Trust. Amazing book so far. I'm only on page like 57, 58 today. But amazing book so far. I'm loving it. If it stays this good, it might make it up into my favorite books. One of the reasons I didn't read it for so long was because it was the son that wrote it. It was Covey's son that wrote it, and I thought it was Covey that wrote it when I bought the book. So it took me a while to read it, but I'm so glad I did. But it's talking about credibility, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's really, really good. I can't say enough good stuff about it right now. And like I said, I'm only 50-some pages in. So it's strong stuff. But it got me thinking about credibility and self-trust. You know, do you trust yourself? And of course, the big thing is, do you lie to yourself? I mean, that's the obvious question when it comes to self-trust. Do you tell yourself, you know, I've talked about it before, setting that alarm clock for the morning. And this funny part is this is my analogy that I've used, and he wrote about it in the book. And he had the same kind of epiphany about it as I did, that he was lying to himself when he set the alarm. And I know I shared this on another live where it's like, no, if you're not going to get up, don't set the alarm. But if you make that commitment to yourself and you actually set the alarm, you have to get up because you made a commitment to yourself. It's a powerful way of looking at it, but it's the only way to build self-trust is to actually keep those promises you make to yourself. And that's what the V50 is all about. And that's the reason it was built, was to try and become more consistent. So if you want to be a more effective person, I really believe this with all my heart and soul. And it'll be part of the next book, I think, as I flesh out these ideas as I talk to you. Body, mind, soul, and goals. It's not just a little rhyme. It is actually the key to being an effective person and building that self-trust, that credibility with yourself. Every day, everybody, I firmly believe this, everybody knows what they need to do. They may not know exactly how to get it done, but everybody wakes up in the morning and they know what they need to do. And then the struggle for everybody is being consistent and holding themselves to what they need to do. And please do not get me wrong. Everybody faces different trials, challenges. Not everybody has the easiest life. But for the vast majority of I would say like the first world country, unless you're struggling to find food or you're in a war-torn area or something like that, the vast majority of us, we know what we need to do. And it's body, mind, soul, and goals. And when you neglect those things in your life, and then you have to start making excuses for why you didn't do what you know you were supposed to do. And once you start making the excuses, then those excuses start warping how you look at life, and they start warping your reality, and they become your reality. And they're not. But because you've had to accept them, because you know you've betrayed yourself and you haven't stuck to what you said you were going to do. And it starts off tiny. But it's powerful and extrapolates over time. And the key is, I don't care what the commitment is. If it is just setting your alarm clock, keep that commitment to yourself because it builds that trust. Otherwise, if you don't build that trust, if you don't keep that commitment to yourself, you have to make up an excuse for why. You may not actively do it. You'll say, well, I didn't get up for the alarm. And again, I'm picking on the alarm clock. I didn't get up because, I stayed up an hour late last night, but I was super productive in that hour last night, and I'm just a night owl. And you start making up this new reality for yourself, when truthfully, you just made a commitment to yourself that you didn't keep. So it's an idea I'm fleshing out. I'm working on it. It needs more work for sure, but it's a fun mantra to hold yourself to. Body, mind, soul, and goals. Man, you have to Everybody knows they need to do some physical activity. Everybody knows this. It's not rocket science, but have you created so many excuses for yourself that now your reality is that it just doesn't happen? You know me in reading. I think on your mind, you have to sharpen your mind every day. Body, mind, you have to sharpen your mind every day. Invest in your brain and do some reading. Soul, man, that's your relationships. You have to. Absolutely. This might be the most important and the most neglected. Some of it happens naturally just because of the families we belong to and the circles that we're in, especially in the profession of firefighting. But, so you have to invest in those relationships. You have to. And then goals, man. Moving towards that vision for yourself and what it looks like for you and those you're responsible for, whether it be your family or whether it be your crew, whether it be, the job that you're doing. So, that's it. Body, mind, soul, and goals. You know what you're supposed to do. Everybody does. But are you making the excuses? Have you been making the excuses so long they become your reality? So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning after my reading. I feel good doing the reading first. So that may be my new routine. Wake up, do the reading, and then head to the gym. I'm really, really digging that. So anyway, I hope you have a blessed day. I hope if you're on the V50, if you're on the same time frame as me, it's on day 17. We're getting closer to that next reset day. I hope you are setting those goals and keeping those promises to yourself, building that self-credibility, building that integrity, building that competence, because that competence leads to confidence. And you're proving to yourself that you are the person you said you were going to be. Hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy the journey. Godspeed.